Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, YouTube. I know Rural Farm Boy is out there right now. He says he's tagged some people, so we'll see who else can show up here soon. So,
Awesome.
yeah, yeah. We're live on YouTube. Day one on YouTube.
All right. I've been waiting for our YouTube premiere, Adam.
Yeah, same. So, make sure, Rural Farm Boy, make sure that let us know if audio's okay, if you can hear us okay, that type of stuff. And we should be getting ready to go. How you doing today, Josh?
Oh, not bad. How about you?
Hanging in there. Hanging in there. How's
Yeah.
how's, how's your quarantine going?
It's going all right.
Yeah.
just just been having a little anxiety, to be honest. So struggling with a little bit of that, and
Fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah, it's just craziness. So
It is. It is indeed. Um. And then of course last night Grace started with it. My daughter Grace started with a little runny nose, so I'm freaking out about that.
oh, I know. I've
It's
I've
like
had a
every
little bit of
little.
a.
It was like every little ache and pain. I'm like, do I have COVID?
I know it. Yeah, because that's same here. Because I've been waking up
Yeah.
with like phlegm in my throat and stuff, and a little bit of a cough, which is what I typically have this time of year,
Yeah.
with
Yeah. Right.
allergy season
Right.
and seasonal allergies, but I'm like in a panic that I like have this stinking thing.
Yeah.
Um, so I am, you know, obviously social distancing and self quarantining and trying to get through this without going to the doctor if I can, but if I need to, I'll call.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here. Same here.
Yeah.
So, all right, I think we're about ready to go. I'm gonna hit the intro cue, and then we'll be able to
All
jump in
right.
if you're ready.
Ready to go.
All right.
So what I told you was true, from a certain point of view.
Oh, hello there, and welcome to the From a Certain Point of View podcast. This is episode 21, and I'm Josh.
I'm Adam. We are old enough to drink in podcast years.
That's right. That's right. 21. That
Yep.
is a great number. I could use some drinks right now after this week, Adam. I'll tell you
It's
what.
been a crazy
I
week.
don't, know- I don't know about you.
Yeah.
The social distancing and self quarantine is already getting to me a little bit. So I'm really glad to be talking Star Wars right now as a little distraction from all the crazy world stuff going on.
Same here. Same here.
Yes. So what have you been up to this week when it comes to Star Wars?
Well, I have started reading the this Rise of Skywalker novelization, and we're reading that for our brand new book club, which we're doing in Discord. So if you haven't heard about that, then jump into the Discord and read along with us. So I've read chapters 1 through 4 of that, and I'm enjoying it a heck of a lot. Uh, like so far, I'm only like 60 pages in because we didn't do very much. We didn't go beyond chapter 4 yet. So um, but it's really enhancing the movie for me so far, which is kind of what kind of what those I think are made for. So, but yeah,
hmm
enjoying it a heck of a lot. How about you? What have you been up to?
Well, I have, watched about half of the documentary
Mm-hmm.
of the making of the Rise of Skywalker. Um, and what do you remember what the title of that documentary is? It's like the feature length documentary. I'm not sure if we have a fact checker out there or
Uh,
anything like that, but
I'm blanking on it. It's
yeah,
the
the name is escaping me
Skywalker,
right
the
now.
Skywalker Legacy or Saga or
Maybe
something like that.
the Skywalker Legacy or something.
Yeah.
Um, and so man, there's a couple parts of that documentary that have just brought me to tears,
Mm-hmm.
and just very emotional, and just appreciating the movie even that much more. I've loved it more with each viewing.
Yeah.
But watching this just enhancing that, and I
Yeah.
think maybe next week we could do a whole segment on this documentary once more people have
Oh,
maybe seen
sure.
it and dive into that. Um, I've also been reading the novelization like you have, and I'm about halfway through chapter 4, so I got to finish up chapter 4 so I can with the book club today, which I'm excited about. And I agree that the novelization, in addition to the documentary, is also just expanding my appreciation for the film, and you get inside of Ray's head quite a bit in the first 4
Yeah.
chapters,
Yeah.
and that I've really enjoyed that, and it expands upon her connections with Leia, with Luke, with Ben, Kylo. So that's what I've enjoyed about it the most so far, and then of course last night I watched the Clone Wars, so that's what I've been up to. And we also have some poll results that we can talk about if you want to jump into that right now, Adam.
Yeah. Before I just wanted to mention on the documentary, I started a second watch through of it,
Hmm.
and I think like regardless of what your opinions on the movie are as a whole, I hope that you can watch it and at least enhance your appreciation of all the effort and all the passion that went into making the movie. So
Absolutely.
even if it's not your movie, which is perfectly fine, different strokes for different folks. But
Hmm.
I hope you can at least watch that and if your take on the movie after seeing it was that they didn't care or that they didn't understand the story or anything like that, I hope that you can I hope you can watch that and at least appreciate uh, that there was a ton of passion that went into that movie,
Yeah.
and it was it was definitely made from a place of love. So
Yeah, that is clearly the case from what I can tell. And I mean, I think they make connections to things from the originals that you wouldn't even think of unless you watch the documentary. There's a few things that they connect with that, like, oh, I didn't realize that. So I
mhm.
definitely learned some new things about their process. And I've said this before, but when I watched the director and the Jedi documentary
Yeah.
for The Last Jedi, like that's a documentary that changed my perspective on that film. Even though I didn't love The Last Jedi the first time I saw it, again, the more I saw it and watching that documentary, and it kind of really made me appreciate it more. So
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
agree with checking these out. So
Yeah. So poll
yes,
results.
yes. So our weekly poll was: while practicing social distancing, what Star Wars content are you most likely to binge watch on Disney Plus? And we had animated shows at 27% of the vote, live action movies 7%, The Mandalorian at 16%, and the winner was all of the above at 50%. So some people are just going to watch it all. What about you, Adam? Where did you land on this poll?
Probably like the animated stuff because I've been watching a lot of Clone Wars. Um, but I was a little surprised Mandalorian was that low, and I guess maybe it's just because it's been out for a while. But
Right, maybe people have already watched it a few times,
yeah,
possibly.
probably.
But yeah, I accidentally clicked the Mandalorian when I voted. I meant to click on like uh, I think the animated shows as well,
Okay, okay.
because I still need to catch up on the Clone Wars and everything, and I want to rewatch Rebels again.
Yeah, I've
So
decided after Clone Wars finishes up this run, I'm gonna go back through and do a chronological rewatch of everything.
yeah, yeah, that's ultimately my goal as well.
Yeah, so I guess in about 2 months here, we have what like 7 more episodes, I think. So after
Yeah,
that, I'll be going back through all of it.
that'd be a good time to do that for
Yeah.
sure. Any other thoughts on the poll this week?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, what's
So
coming up on this week's show, Adam?
yeah, we've got just a little bit of news, and we're gonna talk about the Rosario Dawson news leak, rumor, whatever you want to call it, from yesterday. Uh, and then we're gonna jump into Clone Wars, season 7, episode 5. And after that, we're gonna take a little break because tomorrow we're recording this on Saturday. This portion on Saturday, but tomorrow we're gonna have a special guest on the podcast. And when you download the show and listen to it, you'll get to hear our conversation with the girls from the Galactic Podcast. So we're pretty jazzed about that.
Yeah,
But
I'm
that'll be
very
coming up.
excited about that segment, Adam. I'm very curious about, we call ourselves from a certain point of view, and our point of view is pretty much male, of course, since we're both men.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
Yeah.
I'm interested to get, sometimes I don't. I was raised by females mainly, so I have a little
Okay.
bit of that, but I cannot claim to be a female. So I am going to really look forward to hearing from a certain point of view of females about some of the characters from the sequel trilogy and where things ended up in the Rise of Skywalker. So I'm really excited about that conversation coming up.
Absolutely. You ready to jump into news?
All right, let's talk about a live action Ahsoka.
Well, you want the bad news or the really bad news?
Okay, so we had a news article that broke, I believe it was yesterday. Is that right, Adam?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah, Star Wars Newsnet, and some other outlets as well reported this, that um, Rosario Dawson will be playing a live action Ahsoka Tano in The Mandalorian season 2. And this is the original report, I think, came from Slash Film, which is fairly reputable site
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
when it comes to breaking news and everything. Um, and and we also had a tweet from, let me see here, I think it was Clayton Sandell
Clayton
from
Sandell. Yeah.
ABC News.
Yep.
Sandell, however you say
Yeah.
his name.
Yeah.
Um, and it was, let me see, let me read the tweet here. I'm having some technical difficulties. A live action version of Ahsoka Tano appearing in the second season of The Mandalorian is correct. I had heard a couple names floated. Dawson was indeed one, but I can't confirm the Slash Film casting scoop. However, I can say Ahsoka will not be played by Ashley Eckstein, who of course voices the character in the Clone Wars and
Yeah.
Rebels.
Right.
So, what are your thoughts on this possibility? We haven't heard it from StarWars.com yet, so
Yeah.
but
I'm treating this as a rumor for now. And originally when it came out from Slash Film, I was pretty sure I was just gonna stay with this being a rumor. But then it
Yeah.
started getting picked up by everywhere, and I don't know if that lends credence or if it's just, maybe people are bored because they're stuck inside. I don't know.
That could be.
I think my one thing about this is that this was kind of like the fan dream casting from a few years ago, and then all of a sudden
Yep.
it's coming true. So for me, I always take that with an extra grain of salt, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it is what it is with fans, and I don't know if that maybe takes away some of the credibility. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at.
Right.
But it was just kind of like that fan dream thing, and then all of a sudden it's coming true. Which, and I don't want to even call it fan dream because I think a lot of people would just want this role to stay with Ashley Eckstein, and I get
Sure.
that. But I'm just taking this with a grain of salt until I hear it officially or see it on screen. And then also, this is just one of those things that I think I would have liked to have saved for a surprise when Mandalorian season 2
Yeah.
came along.
I hear you.
So, I've always wanted to see Ahsoka live action on screen, and I know there's some discussion about that, if she should just stay in animation or if taking that jump is a good thing. And I've always wanted to see her live action, so I'm excited about that possibility. But I'm just taking it one step at a time, I guess.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. I'm definitely just taking it as a rumor for right now. But it's a rumor that I hope is true, and there are a few reasons for that. My first reason is, I think that she looks a lot like Ahsoka, and I think she could definitely play Ahsoka. And ever since that came up a few years ago, I was like, oh, that'd be perfect. I could definitely see her in the role. The second reason I'm excited about this possibility is that I've wanted a animated character to make an appearance in live action, and I think I've really wanted to see that, and I think Ahsoka would be a great character to appear live action.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean,
and then I
we
guess
did have Saw Gerrera.
right, that's true. We
Yeah.
did. That's a good point. Um, and I also, with the introduction of the dark saber to the Mandalorian, I think it'd be interesting if we had a lightsaber go up against that dark saber, and if we have
And
Ahsoka,
maybe that
we
could
could
be
potentially
where,
see that.
yeah, yeah.
hmm
And with
So
Giancarlo Esposito talking about the lightsaber action, I guess that could
lightsaber
come into
action, it
play, possibly.
could
So
make some sense.
it
Yeah.
could, it could.
So that kind of lines up, and again, it's a rumor that I hope is true because I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
So that's my take.
Very fair.
Yeah. So out there, what do you guys think? We want to
Yeah,
hear what
we
you guys
are.
think about this possible rumor being true.
Yeah, and we are live on YouTube today, which we didn't mention up front, but we will mention that now. And we have a few people in our chat. We have Rural Farm Boy and Mr. Rez, and I know that Rural. I can never say that.
That's hard to say.
I'm just gonna start calling him RFB. We'll just go with that way.
Yeah.
So I know he's trying to keep it common sense, like we were talking about there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and he said a little bit before, rumor for now until LFL says otherwise, which I probably would definitely go with that. So
I concur.
agreed. RFB's throwing a trivia question at us. Who was the first character to come from animation to live?
Ooh.
From animation to live.
I mean, because you mentioned Saw
I mentioned
Gerrera, and,
Saw.
I don't know if that's the answer or not, or if it's somebody else.
Can
you think of any others?
I'm trying to think. I don't think it would come from Clone Wars because it wasn't that was post episode 3, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Was there like some animated Boba Fett thing that
I'm wondering if it was something like that.
Something?
I'm wondering if it was something like that.
Right.
But
I mean, my answer would be Saw Gerrera, but
okay.
we already mentioned that, so that could be wrong. So yeah, we'll have to. I like the trivia though.
Okay, we're on the right track. He says hint is from the holiday special. So I'm not gonna be able to get that. Yeah.
I honestly never watched it, so
yeah,
I don't
I've
know
avoided
for sure,
it too.
but I thought maybe it came from that. So at least I
Yeah.
was on the right track. We're gonna have to have the answer revealed from
Yes. So while we're waiting for the answer,
RFB, is that what we're calling him at this point?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that because I can't say rural.
RFB.
Mr. Rez is weighing in on the Rosario Dawson. He says that he loves Ashley, but Rosario has so much talent, it would be a waste to give it to a waste to not give it to her.
Yeah, I hear you on that, and because I'm thinking like, is Ashley Eckstein, who has a great voice for the character, is she a physical actress? Because you have to be able to do the things physically that Ahsoka can do. So I think looking at an actress like a Rosario Dawson, who has proven herself kind of in other, in the Marvel series that we've seen on Netflix and everything. So.
Yep, and you actually nailed it with that trivia question. It was Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. There it was. All right. Look at that.
Nice.
So that's it for the news, I think, right, Adam? We only had that one.
Yeah.
Something else did come up this morning on Star Wars Newsnet. It was about the Star Wars Kids YouTube channel.
Okay.
We had another short that came up on Leia. For the kids out there that maybe want to go to the Star Wars YouTube Kids channel, you can check out a short on Leia Organa. So New Galaxy Adventures short is available. I haven't watched it yet, but I'll probably show it to Sydney soon. I was trying to get the kids involved as well and introducing them to Star Wars.
Awesome.
All right. So we ready to talk Clone Wars?
I am always ready to talk Clone Wars.
All right.
My disappointment in your performance cannot be overstated.
Okay, so it broke a few days before the episode came out that this was going to be the start of our Ahsoka arc, which I was probably expecting because I know that we also have to do some Mandalore stuff, and I was kind of expecting that to be saved for the end. So I wasn't very surprised that Gone with a Trace was going to be our first look at Ahsoka back in Clone Wars era time period. So, which indeed it was. What do you think of the title, Josh?
Well, at first I thought it was just okay. You know how people always say they're gone without a trace, but
Yeah, I thought it was a play on that.
It was going to be gone with a trace, but then it
Right.
became this literal thing with the name trace.
Yep.
So that kind of was surprising.
I
didn't expect that.
honestly didn't catch that until I was looking at the outline this morning.
Right.
Which is weird because I was watching it last night and I knew the title and I knew that it was a play on words and I just didn't pick up on it. And then this morning I'm reading
Yeah.
the title. I'm like, hey, wait, her name is Trace.
Yeah, she was literally gone with a trace.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
Here's your sign.
clever.
It was clever.
Clever Dave Filoni. He got me.
Yeah. So what'd you think of the episode, Adam?
I loved it. Probably my favorite episode so far this season. And I know that it's kind of comparing apples to oranges with different arcs here.
Right.
But, you know, just like everybody else, Ahsoka's always been my jam in Clone Wars.
Mhm.
And really, the animation I thought was beautiful. Just seeing Ahsoka in this kind of updated but still very Clone Wars style, I thought it just looked beautiful the whole way through. So what did you think before we get into anything else here? What were your overall thoughts?
Overall, to be honest, I mean, I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. I thought it was fine. I obviously loved to see Ahsoka again, and I really loved the whole 1313 element of it. That's what I think I loved the most about it, was the location that they went with and how it connects to some other possible 1313 projects that were in development. I know there was a video game that was going to take place on level 1313, and then that live action show that George Lucas was developing was going to be kind of in the underbelly of Coruscant.
Was that actually 1313, or was that
I don't know if
kind
it
of
might have
prior
been
to
a
that?
different level, but
Okay.
yeah. I don't know if it was 1313 specifically.
Same spirit though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same spirit. So I loved that about it. I did. I think this episode was kind of, okay, we're picking up with Ahsoka. Ultimately, this is just a short stop on where she's headed next.
Right.
And I think, it was kind of a transition episode for her to ultimately be going back to Mandalore or wherever else she ends up. So,
yeah.
Do you think that this will be another 4-episode arc, Adam? Do you think we're going to have like a series
I think we're
of
gonna
like
have
3 4-episode arcs or something?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have 3 4-episode arcs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little surprised this picked up just immediately after her leaving the temple. I thought that was kind of a cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that, and I thought that was pretty cool. She just kind of walks away from the temple, gets on her speeder bike, and then just leaves. And
she literally falls down into level 1313. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. What'd you think about that whole crash landing sequence?
I thought that was neat, and I loved, again, like you said, the visuals in this episode.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with. I liked that whole sequence.
It was a very cool episode 2 callback.
Mm-hmm.
With kind of the going through the traffic and falling through the levels of Coruscant, that type of thing. I thought that was
it was very reminiscent of episode 2 for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we already talked a little bit about 1313. Our 2 new characters, Trace is our first, and she's a mechanic, right? A mechanic, I guess, and who works and lives on level 1313, like we said. She's kind of an interesting story because there's definitely some financial things there. They've got some debts, there's some debt collectors that come after them and that type of stuff. And then we find out she has a sister, and sister is Rafa. Am I saying
Rafa,
that right?
Yep.
Cool. So, what do you think about those 2 little characters there?
It created an interesting dynamic, and somebody for Ahsoka to kind of interact with and continue her story. I didn't for whatever reason I didn't love those 2 characters especially.
Okay.
But again, at the same time I didn't mind them, and I think they're pushing Ahsoka's story forward. I don't know if we'll see them again. I think maybe it was just kind of a brief appearance for those characters. I could be wrong. But I think they definitely serve their purpose. But what were your thoughts?
I like Trace a lot more than I like Rafa for some reason.
Yeah.
and I did enjoy Trace a good bit. I thought that was a good
Mhm.
character, and I think we'll see her again. I do think we'll visit those two again, and I'll tell you one thing I kept thinking about during this episode that I really enjoyed, and I really like how they took her story to this place. Is I don't know if you've read the Ahsoka novel,
I have not.
but that kind of deals with her time after leaving, in between leaving the Order and before meeting up with Bail Organa to kind of become Fulcrum.
Hmm.
Uh, but she does a lot of. She's kind of in hiding, and she's doing a lot of mechanic work and fixing droids and fixing bikes and things like that. So I thought it was a perfect tie-in toward that story, and kind of just brings it all together for me. I thought that was.
Yeah.
I thought that was great, and maybe that enhanced my appreciation of the episode a little bit more.
Yeah, and perhaps if I had read that, I would have had that same feeling on it and same appreciation. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So Rafa and Trace are in some, like I said, some financial trouble a little bit. Uh, what did you think about the droid? About the whole droid storyline, the run amok.
For some reason, my mind is blanking right now on
Oh,
that whole aspect of it.
okay.
I got to be
So,
honest with you. I wasn't fully focused on
that's
the
fair.
episode last night, but yeah,
Yeah. So,
you're gonna have to refresh my memory.
Rafa runs a store on 1313. In the back, there's a droid repair shop, and they have three the binary load lifters, I believe that is what they were.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Okay, gotcha.
so uh, Ahsoka helps them fix up these droids, and one kind of takes off and ends up running around through the streets of Coruscant,
Hmm.
kind of wrecking everything.
Right.
So Trace and Ahsoka have to recover this droid and bring it back, and some good action scenes, some good chase scenes with Trace driving this, looks like a forklift, like I said, forklift that turns
Hmm.
sideways, and then they capture the droid that way. Trace has to climb up on this droid, as it's almost like King Kong style, um, climbing up the side of a building. And of course, just before it reaches a child, Trace is able to disable the droid, and uh, on the way down, like I said, they were climbing up this building. On the way down, there's some there's some problems, because it appears that Trace is going to fall with this droid, and the whole time I was expecting Ahsoka to use her force abilities to save
Yeah.
them, and they kind of kept playing with that, because
Hmm.
at first this vehicle lands, and I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe that's just it, but then it starts slipping, and
Right.
Ahsoka then uses these tow cables to try to bring him back up, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's how they end this, but then the tow cable starts slipping, and then finally
Hmm.
Ahsoka, you see her pull this thing back up, and one child one child notices Ahsoka's hands and kind of connects the dots,
Yep.
which was really fun. So
Yeah, that's the one thing that I was wondering the whole episode. Like I felt like it's only a matter of time before she reveals that she has the Force. Now we know that one child noticed it, maybe nobody else did.
yeah,
And I was kind of wondering the same thing. Like, is she not going to use the Force? So I like that aspect of it too.
yeah. So I wonder if Trace will ever find out about this, or maybe Rafa finds out about her being her past, her being a Jedi.
Right.
But
Hmm.
yeah, that's mainly where we left off on this episode. So
Yep.
overall, like I said before, I thought it was wonderful. I had a
Hmm.
blast watching this episode. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it again because again, I think I was a little bit in and out of this episode. And I love the 1313 aspect of it and using that location, and I'm excited to go back and watch it again. So yeah,
awesome,
definitely.
awesome.
I'm curious to see where Ahsoka goes next, and probably Mandalore, but how does how does her path take her there and everything. So Yeah, I'm excited for this arc.
Absolutely. All right, at this point, we're going to transition to our talk with the Galactic podcast, and we're going to be talking about the sequel trilogy, Kylo Ren, Rey, Ben, all of it. So hopefully,
From a female point of view.
Yeah.
Luke, you're going to find that many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view.
All right. This at this point is going to be where we'll be inserting our interview. So you guys are going to have to tune back in later. But at this point, I'll catch up with Chad a little bit. Semper Fi Danny. She's subscribed, so thank you and welcome, and don't apologize for being late. That's ridiculous. Don't apologize for being late at all. Thank you for stopping in.
I'm late all the time. Ask Adam.
Josh is late all the time.
I'm always late, so it's all good.
Josh is late all the time. That is true.
Yep.
And Danny is still catching up with the original Star Wars, but now that she's in self-elation, she has 14 days to catch up, and that is absolutely true.
Mm-hmm. Indeed it is.
So, honestly, at this point, all we have to do is record the outro, and then we're done for
And
today
wrap the
until
show
tomorrow.
up.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Let me get my thoughts together before I edit this all out, but let me get my thoughts together and make sure that we have everything we need. Okay. All right, I'm going to play the transition, then we'll start the outro.
I'm just glad you're here. At the end.
Thank you again for tuning in this week. That was an awesome conversation with the Galactic Podcast. We want to send them a huge thanks for joining us this week. That was awesome. We're both extremely excited to get this show out so everyone can hear our conversation there. It was just a blast. So thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone that's been in the live chat today on YouTube. That would be Rural Farm Boy, Mr. Rez, and Semper Fi Danny. Thank you guys for joining us. It was awesome having you. We're looking forward to doing this next week again. If you're listening live on the show or listening somewhere else and haven't subscribed to the podcast yet, please do that. We're on most major podcatching apps, podcast services, all that jazz. So make sure you're subscribing to the show. And if you're listening on iTunes or even just have iTunes installed on your computer, leave us a review. That helps us get more ears in the show, get more people involved in what we're doing here. Check out our website, FromACertainPointOfView.com, where we have all kinds of blog articles. You can find links to all the places that the show is available. You can send us questions or show topics, or if you'd like to be on the show, you can find all of our contact information right there at FromACertainPointOfView.com. This week on the blog, we had a canon catch-up. Josh wrote a canon catch-up about the rise of Kylo Ren, and then I wrote a blog article about the Old Republic and where that should or should not go. So a couple pretty cool blog articles there. The rest of the socials, Twitter is at CertainPOVPod, Facebook page From a Certain Point of View. The Discord server link is always in the show notes and on the website as well. Email is certainpovpod@gmail.com, and Anchor, we are hosted by Anchor. Check us out there. That also has links to all of the places you can subscribe to the show. You can leave us a voicemail if you'd like to send a question that way, and I have heard tell, and I haven't tried this yet on anything, but that is a 60-second limit voicemail, so you have a full minute there to ask your question or get your voice heard on the show. And Josh, why don't you tell them where they can find all your stuff? I know you don't just do From a Certain Point of View. You do some other things as well. So
yeah, absolutely. You can find some of my articles on movienewsnet.com, which is the kind of sister site to StarWarsNewsNet.com. I've been writing a series of reviews on Better Call Saul, and I also had a breakdown of most anticipated movies of 2020, though all of those dates almost have changed or been pushed back. But you can also just find me at Jedi Jar, Jedi Jar Jar 1722 on Twitter. And Adam, thank you so much for just going through all the ways that the people can reach out to us and connect with us. We're everywhere pretty much, and now we're on YouTube as well. And I'm excited that we're out on YouTube, so subscribe to us there.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd love to hear from you. If you have a question you'd like us to answer, or a main topic idea or a segment we could do, we would love to hear it. And we would love to hear from you guys. And it's all about community and connections. And I know I can speak for Adam as well that we just love the connections we've made, especially during this difficult time of social isolation. So thank you guys all for tuning in this week and checking out the podcast. And until next time, remember that everything we told you was true.
From a certain point of view. All right, I can go ahead and wrap that. It should be clear. All right, awesome.
Excellent work, sir. I really liked having
That went better than I was expecting it. Yeah,
that was cool.
That went better than I was expecting, to be honest.
Yeah. And I'm excited for our conversation with the gals tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll plug that into the show, and then I'll get it out tomorrow, and it'll be ready to download tomorrow. Everyone on YouTube, how was the audio? Like I can only hear how it sounds on my end, so I'm hoping it sounds good on your guys' end.
Yeah, hopefully. And will we have the whole? Oh, actually, we probably won't have the whole show on YouTube, right? Or will we? Because if we're doing Skype, are you able to like put the video into that as well, or?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious if, like, going forward, if like if we have a YouTube channel, like, will we have the shows posted on YouTube so I could like go back and watch them on YouTube if I wanted to?
Well, this so this live video will definitely be there. Thanks, RFB. I'm glad it sounds good.
Good.
Yeah. So yeah, this live version will definitely be there. I could probably edit it down, and I don't know what we'll have tomorrow with video. I don't know if
right.
I don't know, if they want to do video or not. So we'll find out.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But yeah, you can definitely go back on YouTube and you'll be able to watch this all back later. So
cool. Good deal. 11 o'clock tomorrow, right?
Yeah, 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
And we're probably not going to do that live, I don't think. So.
Okay. Well, we're going to use Skype.
That'll be that'll be. I mean, I could do Skype live, but I don't know that we'll do this all live. So.
Okay.
I don't think so, RFB. I don't think we're going to be live tomorrow. But if anything changes with that, I'll let you know. So the Galactic segment might be a podcast only special feature.
Yes.
But yeah, if that changes, I'll be sure to tweet out. But I think right now we're just going to record that offline. Okay. Well, online, but not live.
Yes, I gotcha.
So
sounds good, my man.
All right.
So what do you got going on the rest of this weekend aside from our recordings?
Not a whole lot.
Did you see Onward?
No, but it's coming. I didn't buy it.
They released it.
Yeah, they released it on digital, but I didn't buy it because it's coming to Disney Plus on April 3rd.
Right. Yeah, I think I might just wait for Disney Plus, because if they would have had it in 4K, even though I don't know what difference that makes with animation, I probably would have.
I think it makes a difference. I was watching Frozen last night in 4K.
Looks a bit better
because I'm pretty sure it's 4K on Disney Plus.
Well, I think it also has like the HDR, the Dolby Vision, the high dynamic range, which gives it a little more variations in color and everything, so that makes a difference. But yeah, if they had it in 4K last night, I was gonna buy it and watch it just because, like, I want to support these companies, you know what I mean, as much as I can during this time with movie releases. Sure. But maybe I'll wait, and I'm sure it'll be 4K when it comes to Disney Plus. So.
Yeah.
Last night we watched Zootopia. It was pretty good.
I mean, I am supporting Disney with a 3-year subscription.
With the subscription, absolutely, no doubt. Yeah, it's like I'm just concerned about a lot of these movies I think that are supposed to be released in the theater are probably going to be released digitally
Did you see?
instead.
Well, did you see what NBC is doing with Trolls?
No.
It's gonna be digital. Oh, well, I don't know about only. I don't know if it'll have a theatrical run. Originally, what they were supposed to be doing was releasing it in theaters, and then it was going to be on digital alongside that. So the same day that it dropped, and I think it's April 3rd, the same day that it was going to be in theaters, it was going to be on digital too.
Yeah, I'm
And
wondering if they're
then
going to be doing that with
I think
a lot
now,
of.
I think I don't know even. I mean, theaters are closed right now, but I think it'll be.
Yeah.
I think it'll be only digital. I don't know if it'll come to theaters later or not, but
Right. Yeah, we'll have to see. So it's an interesting time for sure.
yeah.
Like I'm just wondering what they're going to do with movies like Wonder Woman and Black Widow, if they're just
I
going to push them
saw
back, or if they're going to try the digital thing, or what.
I saw rumors that Warner was thinking about digital for Wonder Woman.
For Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And then we have Black Widow. I don't know what's going to happen with that. So.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Yep.
Well, hey, at some point when I am sure we are fully healthy and we're okay
Yeah.
to interact again, we'll have to hang out soon. But
Yeah.
But
Sounds
I'm
good.
glad we can connect in this way for now. And thanks for all your work that you put in this week with the
no
logo
problem.
design and everything. I appreciate that. Do a great job with that stuff. And
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So, well,
all right. Well, I think we're gonna
unfortunately,
wrap up. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up the stream here. So say bye to
Yeah.
everybody, and
thank you guys for tuning in and sticking with us during our regular conversation that just went on for a few minutes there.
yeah, this is the stuff you don't get on the podcast. This is why you gotta tune in live.
Exactly.
All
the daily
right.
lives of Adam and Josh.
Yeah. All right. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll get the show out tomorrow, probably around 5 Eastern, give or take. And thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it.
Yeah. May the force be with you.